and go to prayer with me if you would. Heavenly Father, we gather here today as representatives of our beloved city, your community, seeking your guidance and wisdom. Bless us today as we celebrate yet another year of hard work that is done in your name. Grant us the understanding to come together united with a common goal of service above self. Grant us the strength to make decisions that will uplift and serve the people of Savannah and beyond, especially our unhoused, those plagued with mental illness, and those who struggle day to day to survive. Lift us up as a community to come together and put our differences aside. May our discussions be filled with respect, compassion, and a collective vision to place the needs of all others before our own needs. Guide us through tough discussions and disagreements with love, peace, and respect. Lord, we are thankful to be servants of your great community and servants of you. And Lord, we know that life is short and we don't have too much time for gladdening the hearts of those who travel with us. So Lord, please help all of us to be swift to love and make haste to be kind to one another. In the name of God the Creator, Christ the Redeemer, and the Holy Spirit, amen and amen.
Oh, you may be seated. Good evening, City of Savannah. I'm Kennedy Reed, President of the Savannah Youth Ambassadors.
And I'm Tess Swacker, the Vice President of the Savannah Youth Council.
We'd like to welcome you to the Savannah's 2023 State of the City Address. Tonight we will hear from Mayor Van Johnson about the various projects taking place in our beautiful city.
Now please stand if you are able for the Pledge of Allegiance. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
Over the past year, the city of Savannah has seen tremendous growth in many different areas. Capital improvements. In July, the city cut the ribbon on the Hudson Hill Community Center, a 4,800 square foot facility anchoring Rebecca Gray Memorial Park. The nearly $3.4 million center sits at the heart of the area's bustling community, with recreation, education, and sports.
So a lot of participation, a lot of cooperation happened in what you see here behind us today. I want to thank everybody on Hudson Hill who stayed the course. We're very pleased, City of Savannah, and all of you all who took part in this construction. Thank you all.
Less than a mile to the south, the city also completed construction of the Grant Center Gymnasium, the West Side's only full-size indoor basketball court. It's part of the Moses Jackson Community Center complex on Richard Street, just south of West Bay Street. The Grant Center Gym was built with more than $4 million of SPLOST funds. That's the special purpose local option sales tax, paid for by the penny tax, much of which comes from visitors to our city. In District 2, SPLOST funds were used to completely renovate the popular John S. Delaware Center on Lincoln Street. It's turned into a state-of-the-art community center with a gym, game room, full kitchen, and more. And to the north, on Wheaton Street, a whole lot of hooping going on. The city had all 6 basketball courts resurfaced. And our public safety divisions put on quite a show right after the ribbon was cut at the Blackshear basketball complex. Infrastructure. Major projects were completed in 2023, from downtown to the south side and in between. The ribbon was cut on the exposed at the intersection of Broughton and Bull Streets. It was the culmination of a $15 million project replacing the century-old infrastructure and beautifying Savannah's shopping and dining destination location. New lighting, landscaping, brick paving, bike racks, and benches are just a handful of the new elements, giving this historic street a quaint backdrop in our thriving community. To the east, the Waters Avenue corridor is complete with a revitalization of its own. What was once a bustling street is becoming once again as businesses open along Waters between Wheaton Street and Victory Drive. With major safety improvements in mind, new sidewalks and crosswalks and lighting are the brightest elements of this $6.5 million investment sprawling through several East Side neighborhoods. To the south, in Windsor Forest, Tribble Park Lake underwent a major fix after a breach drained the 11-acre lake. The centerpiece of this magnificent 51-acre park off Largo Drive, just south of Windsor Road, also boasts a brand new off-road bike trail.
It's just absolutely amazing having all this in one central location. You've got something for everybody here. So there's walking trails, there's bicycling trails, there's mountain biking trails, recreation reimagined. Having the opportunity to offer different sort of recreation in one spot is the key. And I think having that one central location here makes it worthwhile for everybody.
In the heart of the city, Midtown, major infrastructure improvements are ongoing throughout the Casey Canal Basin. It's a drainage project aimed at alleviating the flooding events essentially between Columbus Avenue and 52nd Street and Harmon and Abercorn Streets.
And these are the sounds of progress right here, where we're installing a 5-foot diameter pipe, concrete reinforced, right underneath the public right-of-way right here to alleviate flooding conditions here in Midtown. But our objective is to make sure that every neighborhood in Savannah is protected from the 100-year flood. We want to make sure that whatever tropical systems, flash flooding are out there, that Savannah residents know that they're going to be protected from these aftershocks, from these major flooding events, so that you have the peace of mind that when you invest here and you make your home here, that you're going to be protected.
Housing and neighborhood services. Dundee Cottages, a prime example of this council's priority of helping out those experiencing homelessness. It's a collaboration with the Chatham-Savannah Authority for the Homeless and a few other nonprofit organizations. The partnership is working to expand this tiny home complex off Wheaton Street, east of downtown. Nearly 40 cottages will add to the site, which already houses dozens of veterans assisted by the Homeless Authority.
This is the village. There's so many moving parts. 50 people from our community are going to be able to call this place their home. So I want y'all to know all of the good things that happened in the 3rd District is because of community partnership.
Dundee Cottages should be complete in the first quarter of 2024. Our city's home improvement program provides necessary repairs for homeowners in need of help. Repairs include roofing, plumbing, painting, and more. It's a program helping hundreds each year while providing minority contractors with work and, in many cases, volunteer opportunities for local organizations. And the city has partnered with the Homeless Authority for the initiative Give Change That Counts. The city putting up signs throughout downtown Savannah urging residents and visitors to support panhandlers through non-traditional means like donating online. The funding will go directly to day centers that provide resources for individuals in need and at the same time reduce the need for panhandling. Community engagement. Through historical marker and honorary street designations, the city continues to engage with residents. Family, friends, neighbors, and city staff gathered to honor the late Robbie Robinson. The former alderman was a valued public servant and staunch civil rights advocate who was killed 34 years ago. Robbie Robinson historical marker now lies next to Can Park, less than a block away from where he grew up.
Attorney Robbie Robinson fought for civil rights and made sure people's voices were heard. As an alderman, he focused on making our lives better. As we unveil this marker, let us remember Alderman Robinson's work for civil rights and public service. It reminds us that we can all make a difference.
Over on Hopkins Street, by the former Duren Elementary School, the city recognized longtime educator and principal Virginia Edwards Maynard with an honorary street designation. She rose to become the city's first African-American female superintendent. And right out in front of Beach High School, the city honored longtime Lady Bulldogs basketball coach Ronald Booker. His dedication to education and athletics helped mold hundreds and hundreds of girls to become strong young women. Now a portion of Hopkins Street, from Victory Drive to West 48th Street, holds the honorary designation of Coach Ronald Booker Way.
We like to hear directly from our community leaders.
And City Manager Jay Melder is personally committed to community engagement. Melder and his senior staff walking neighborhoods, meeting with citizen leaders, and learning the issues, concerns, needs, and wants.
We looked at some stormwater, we looked at recreation. It's a neighborhood that more people are moving to, and we have to respond. We've included 2 new litter teams. We now have glass recycling. We've got boom and knuckle trucks, and we are trying to address the litter and the refuse issues. So we want to hear about your issues because we're really invested in solving it.
It's a hands-on approach, hearing directly from those in the neighborhood.
Good job, Steve.
Public safety and engagement. Savannah's Impact Program, or SIP, and the Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement, or WONS, bring together resources for citizens needing a second chance. The city opened the SIP and WONS complex on Waters Avenue at East 36th Street.
The WONS program reach our youngest kids, and then after you age out of the WONS program, you have the SIP program that'll meet you right there where we have our most vulnerable young people. And those 2 programs are actually, they butt each other, they work with each other, and they communicate. So the community won't be left, and our kids will not have a gap. We always have some representation for the community within the WONS program and the SIPS program.
This collaboration, in conjunction with the Savannah Police Department, works to keep young adults engaged, employed, and working towards a bright future.
As the fire chief of the City of Savannah Fire Department.
In November of 2022, City Manager Jay Melder named Savannah native Elsie Kitchen permanent chief of Savannah Fire.
Hi, Lenny Brian Gunther.
And 2 months later, the national search ended with Savannah's Lenny Gunther hired permanently as police chief. Both were serving in interim roles before their appointments. Through public safety, community engagement, housing and neighborhood services, infrastructure, and capital improvements, the state of this city is stronger than ever. The direction is forward, and the motto is simple: Savannah Strong. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our mayor, the Honorable Van R. Johnson II.
Thank you, and Colin.
Am I on? Yes. Can you hear me? Yes. All right. Please be seated. Thank you so much, and good evening. Good evening. To the honorable members of the Savannah City Council, Mayor Pro Tem Estella Edwards Shabazz, District 5. Council Vice Chair Nick Palumbo, District 4. Alderwoman Keisha Gibson Carter, Post 1 at Large, and Alderwoman Alicia Miller Blakely, Post 2 at Large, and Alderwoman Bernetta Bryant Lanier, District 1, in their absence. Alderman Dietrich Leggett, District 2, in his absence. To Alderwoman Linda Wilder Bryan, District 3. And to Alderman Curtis Purty, District 6. To City Manager Jay Melder, City Attorney Bates Lovett, City Clerk Mark Massey, members of Team Savannah, neighborhood, community, business, religious leaders, and most importantly, the residents of the City of Savannah. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining me tonight for the 2023 State of the City. I am so glad to be with you and so excited about today, so excited about this wonderful video that really took a snapshot in time over the last year. I'm also so excited that our young people are here from the Savannah Youth Ambassadors and the Savannah Youth Council. Would y'all stand? I know you're there. Can you do a little bit better than that for our young people? Thank you so much, because we want them to learn about government, and they can't learn about government without being involved in government. I must first take a personal moment of privilege to thank God for the amazing at times, the scary at times, the tiring at times, challenging journey that we have traveled together. We've had some real difficult days, and we've had some very long nights. We have faith that we would make it through, even though we did not always know how we were going to make it through. Yet 4 years later, we are still here, and I am thankful for that. Can we give God a round of praise for that? Secondly, I would like to thank the members of the 139th Administration of the City of Savannah. Give our council a round of applause, please. Public service is not easy. And I told them 4 years ago that it was not as easy as it appeared when they were candidates. You all have survived a trial by fire. And while much has been made about the times we did not agree, over 85% of the time we did agree. And so I thank you for your service during this historic time. Thank you. And I would like, you can clap for him again. And I would like to thank the greatest cadre of public officials the world has ever known, Team Savannah, for your dedication, for your service, for what you have seen and done, both seen and unseen. We have taken great pride in publicly recognizing your service, and we have aggressively paid you for the work you have done, and we're going to do even better than that. And we want to make sure that we take care of you because you take such good care of our citizens. Will all of the members of Team Savannah stand, and let's just give them a big round of applause. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And last but not least, thank you to our residents who have entrusted us to lead while serving. You have endured a lot, you've been challenged a lot, but hopefully you felt that your city government was by your side every step of the way. Today's report is not about us, it's about you. It's all about you. How we have served you, how we've prioritized your needs and your interests, and then how we balanced those needs and interests and did it in a way that was equitable, inclusive, and economical. And so thank you for the privilege of serving you. In the last 4 years, the City of Savannah has faced enormous, historic, almost biblical challenges. Not only have we addressed these challenges, but we have begun building for a more robust, brighter future. Our city is stronger now today than at any time in its 290-year history. It is stronger and more capable of addressing the problems that arise because you, the citizens, who take care to voice your opinions and to participate in your democracy and to voice your opinions and engage with your communities and voice your opinions and voice your opinions. And we appreciate that because we always know what you are thinking. We are a diverse city, and we choose to live in diverse ways. We're full of hardworking individuals from every walk of life who love the unique place that we all call home. We celebrate that diversity in our festivals, in our parades, and in our joyous gatherings and in everyday life. The state of our city is clear. It's thriving for many, thriving for more than before, but not thriving for all. And our continuing mission is to make sure that all Savannahans are thriving too. In 2020, we opened the current City Council term with a new team. There were 7 new members that joined Alderwoman Shabazz and I. And that team had to develop a game plan. We got back to basics, we invested in our communities and our people, and we got some really big things done. But as soon as the whistle blew on this new council term, a global pandemic upended our society and impacted our city in ways we could never, ever imagine. Our response, however, was strong. Savannah strong. We made government more accessible through technology. We made the council more accessible to the people. We introduced new tools to better serve citizens, like a redesigned website and the upgraded 311 system. We increased transparency through weekly digital and in-person updates. Despite this novel virus, we were able to safely reopen Savannah's economy, which is now seeing the benefits of our wise actions. Hundreds of businesses took the Savannah Safe Pledge, joining our city in our joint effort to put people first to keep everyone safe and healthy. The city partnered with healthcare providers and businesses to improve vaccine access by hosting clinics at city facilities, including the Savannah Civic Center and the Savannah Fire Department headquarters. It was an unprecedented time for the world and for the city of Savannah, but we made it through by keeping your health, the citizens of our city, our primary concern. We made it through because we kept the faith, but we followed the science. Yeah. Now, COVID-19 is still with us, and I encourage you all to stay current on your vaccine boosters. And I'm gonna get mine sometime next week. In the first half of this council term, 2020 through 2021, other challenges were presented to us, and this council, your council, rose to the occasion. Every challenge that we have met has been answered with a sensible approach that balances common sense, honors our city's history, and moves us forward in a practical way. We emphasized infrastructure in the first half, investing $260 million in construction, including the Floyd Adams Jr. complex. This new construction provided a much-needed home for several city departments, and it honored Savannah's first African-American mayor, celebrating 25 years since he made history. The city received $55 million from the American Rescue Plan Act, which we used to set new standards for city employees, including setting a $15 minimum wage for City of Savannah employees. Yeah. Because we can't expect people to get out of poverty paying poverty wages. Yeah. We also invested in local nonprofit agencies and small businesses, and we met the challenge of economic recovery from the pandemic with common sense funding, which included taking on one of the biggest challenges of this city. This council had addressed the problem of affordable housing and homelessness like no other council before it. We saw the problem, we didn't run from it, we ran to it, and we acted. As promised, I created the Housing Savannah Task Force, which presented the first ever affordable housing plan in 2021. We increased funding to the Savannah Affordable Housing Fund with a record $19.1 million investment. The final phase of Savannah Gardens was completed, adding 85 mixed-income apartments to the development. And along with addressing housing, we knew that we had to address public safety. And we did that by investing over $4.3 million to the Savannah Police Department, adding new technology and expanding the shot spotter system to every single district in this city. And so while other communities around the country are talking about defunding the police, we invested in our police. We invested. But we also faced a national reckoning with well-documented violent encounters between police officers and young men and boys of color. And in response, I appointed the Savannah CARES Task Force, Citizens Accountability and Review of Emergency Services, that made 12 recommendations to the Savannah Police Department on the department's use of force. So they listened. We don't have chokeholds. We don't wear military-style uniforms unless we're on an active call or assignment. And they took proactive steps to update its policy. We listened to the community. We heard some very hard things about ourselves, but it was things we needed to hear, and we've done better because of it. We've also added a behavioral health unit that can respond to calls involving individuals in crisis or with substance abuse issues. Our fire department maintained an ISO 1 ranking, the highest ranking that a fire department can achieve, remaining one of the most elite fire departments in the nation. And I'm bad enough to say the best fire department in the nation. Through those first 2 years, we wanted to engage the citizens and include them in our policy decisions. And so I appointed a host of citizen-led task forces to give you, our residents, a voice in moving our city forward. The OLA Savannah Task Force, comprised of our Hispanic brothers and sisters, was formed, along with the Proud Savannah Task Force that represented those of the LGBTQ plus community, and the Asian American Pacific Islanders for Savannah Task Force. And all of these task forces gave voice to those in our community who were underrepresented and helped connect residents to needed services. We decided here that we were not going to use the word or in our vocabulary anymore. We were going to use the word and. I also established the Read Savannah Task Force to encourage literacy among our youngest and even some of our older residents. These initiatives have played into a more prominent theme of making our city more inclusive for all residents, while being good stewards of the things within our control. Globally, we have all seen the effects of climate change in the last few years. And here in Savannah, we addressed the severe problem early on by establishing the 100% Savannah Plan, a resolution that will shift the city to renewable energy, focusing on racial and social equity. Being good stewards means inclusion, and it means being responsible for the future while paying attention to the needs of the present. By halftime of this council term, we had to embark on a very important mission. We needed a coach. We had a lot of great interim coaches, but we needed a coach, a permanent coach, to lead us to victory. Someone who could execute our game plan. Someone who could help build this city's future while paying attention to the needs of the present. After all, one of council's main responsibilities is to hire a city manager. And so we looked all around the country. We looked to the west, and we looked to the north and the south. We looked down in the bayou. We looked down in Louisiana. Then we ended up in our nation's capital. We hired a young man named Jay Meldon as city manager in 2021 with a unanimous vote. And we like this dude. He's come here. He has become Savannian for real. Like that, right? He says y'all a lot better now than he used to. He's bought a home here, he's gotten married here, and Savannah is his place, and he's going to be here. And we thank him so much for taking on this challenge and for the hard work you have done to make sure that good public servants give great public service. Thank you so much for that.
Yes.
Thank you. And I would be remiss if I did not extend this council's and my personal gratitude to two gentlemen who helped us lay the foundation of our game plan. I want to thank Patrick Monahan and Michael Brown for their hard work during an incredibly challenging time for our city. We didn't miss a beat because we had the GOATs here in our community leading us. Both men are legendary public managers, but more importantly, they're even more extraordinary men. And we will always have a debt of gratitude for both of them. So we appreciate all they have done for us. So Mr. Melton gets here and he gets to work, and we began by investing in Team Savannah. We established an historic 8.48% pay raise for all employees and hired several new directors to lead our departments. Sanitation was a massive part of our focus, and the city committed $6.7 million to right-size our staffing, adding 29 new positions. Yeah. We invested in fleet services, adding new collection trucks and over 100 new police vehicles to better serve our citizens. And last year, as a part of my Real Task Force Racial Equity and Leadership Task Force recommendations, Mr. Melder hired our first ever Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer, actively collaborating with stakeholders throughout Team Savannah and developing our first ever DEI plan to ensure everyone is represented within your government. Yes. Then we realized that some of our best talent was in our face. So we hired a former quarterback from Johnson High School, Savannah native and 24th year Savannah Fire Department veteran Elsie Kitchen, to be the new permanent chief of the Savannah Fire Department. And at the beginning of the year, following a national search, we hired Liddy B. Gunther, a 22-year veteran of Savannah Police Department, to be our new chief of police. And I will tell you, I am so proud of these gentlemen, these homebred boys who are leading and serving in our community, leading our police and fire departments. Let's give them another round of applause. And they look mighty good in those uniforms too. This year, your city government has worked hard for you. Let's be clear, the state of our economy is strong. Georgia Southern's economic monitor shows an increase in 3,400 workers in the first half of this year. And while the overall forecast remains mixed, Savannah has not experienced a severe recession, and our future is bright. Our tourism industry remains strong, and the employment sector is expected to grow with the advent of a new Hyundai Meta plant and other manufacturers coming online soon. This year, the City Council, again through this administration, voted to maintain the millage rate at 12.20 mils, the lowest millage rate since 1987.
That's right.
The additional funds generated from this move will help us to address severely needed stormwater projects. We know that Savannah is a low-lying city, and many of our neighborhoods have historically suffered water intrusion during heavy storm events. And while the city has invested in stormwater projects strategically and effectively over the last 30 years, we all know more is needed. And so these additional funds will help plan projects, including Victory Drive drainage improvements on the Springfield Canal and Liberty City drainage improvements on the Springfield Canal and Montgomery Crossroad projects at Haynes Creek. The Stormwater Management Division has undertaken several large capital improvement projects with more on the horizon. These upgrades and new construction will help the city weather flooding much better than we have in the past. Maintaining our millage rate allows the city not only to improve our stormwater drainage system, but to also prepare for future inundation. Continually, over the last 4 years, we have met the challenges our city faces and are addressing future challenges by making big, bold moves now, like investment in our stormwater drainage. We've also made big moves in infrastructure. Last year, we completed the city's largest construction project in history, the in-market arena. This new arena was not only an investment in the West Savannah communities, but has become a central hub of significant entertainment. We have seen our new professional hockey team, the Ghost Pirates, sell out game after game in their first season, setting records. And who said that hockey wouldn't work in Savannah? We've hosted basketball tournaments as well, and Savannah will host the championship games for the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference next year. Yes. Go Savannah State. This arena has attracted musical acts that usually would have passed us by on the way to Florida. Earth, Wind & Fire, Janet Jackson, Jimmy Buffett, the Eagles, tonight Stevie Nicks, and some of the biggest names in music. The city invested in a new parking lot and shuttle buses from the Civic Center, as well as the widening of Gwinnett Street and a bridge further to connect the downtown with West Savannah, eliminating decades of physical barriers. We also received a $4.5 million federal grant that will be used over the next 3 years to address health equity initiatives on Savannah's west side. A portion of that funding will be used to hire 3 full-time staff members focused on health equity and community input while hosting community health events. All means all. And our game plan has been to approach infrastructure and development with an eye towards equality, equity, and balance. The completed capital projects of the last year have made a tremendous impact on our community. Think about it. We repaired the Factors Walk stairs, although people still falling down them, added fencing to the Truman Parkway, and extended our Riverwalk. The city updated the streetscape on Waters Avenue and Broughton Street, and we improved the Riverwalk bulkhead. We've added a gazebo in the Leedsgate neighborhood, giving those residents in District 5 a place to gather. 3 major capital projects that the city had been working on were completed this year, and I was glad to start 2 of them as alderman. The brand new Grant Center Gymnasium and the new Hudson Hill Community Center. I started as alderman and we finished as mayor. And a complete renovation of the John S. Delaware Center represented a considerable investment in neighborhoods where we live. Further investing in community, the council approved finally a 2% increase in the hotel motel tax. It took us 7 years to get it done, but we got it done, bringing us to 8% on par with other taxing entities in our region. These additional funds provided by the tourism industry, provided from people who come here and visit, will filter $37 million to redevelop the historic Waterworks building on the west side and trails and sidewalks connecting the west side neighborhoods. Another $30 million will go toward the redevelopment and renovation of River Street and the waterfront. And $10 million will go to improve the Tide to Town Trail network. All of these projects are a benefit to the citizens without you having to pay for it. Yeah. These improvements to our community are paid for by the folks who visit here. We love them, but they have to pay for some stuff too. And that's what common sense government is all about, focused on equality, equity, and balance. Along with expanding these vital centers focused on improving quality of life, we have also invested in regularly maintaining the city's infrastructure and services. Our Water Resources Department has worked tirelessly to provide over 300,000 people with drinking water, regularly maintaining the various systems and installing new equipment to handle the demand. Some of the critical components that have been installed recently are the variable frequency drives to maintain water pressure, and an ammonia analyzer to measure ammonia levels, and magnetic meters to measure the flow of water, all the smart people stuff, and a generator well to provide backup in case the main power is interrupted. The water distribution team, our amazing water distribution team, who maintain 1,000 miles of water mains, 6,500 hydrants, 18,000 water valves, 80,000 water meters, made several system improvements over the last year, including new mains on West River Street and an upgrade to the main on MLK Boulevard. The city is working with an installation contractor, Badger Meter, to develop a new smart meter system that will better track residents' water use. And we know for us that water bills have been a challenge. Not anymore. So far, the city, your city, has installed over 5,000 smart meters during the early portion of this project. 10,000 meters will be installed by April 2024, giving residents better control over your utilities by providing water use information and billing information through an app. And over the next 3 or 4 years, the city will install an additional 40,000 meters. So those days of complaints are over. You're going to know exactly what your water bill is. It's the work of everyday civil servants, the unsung heroes of our city, like the men and women of our Water Resources Department or our Sanitation Department, who keep this city running smoothly. Consider this, in the last year, our sanitation team, the heart of Savannah, handled more than 5.2 million scheduled residential and yard waste collections. Because of our investment in sanitation, the scheduled residential collections were completed on time at a 99% rate this year, and residential recycling was completed at a 98% rate, and City Manager Jay Melder says we're striving towards 100 because we could do 100. The city's street sweepers cleaned over 32,000 miles of street curbs this year, helping to keep our city neat and clean. The Dean Forest Road landfill received an environmental compliance score of 100% from the Georgia Environmental Protection Division in July. And a new glass recycling program was implemented, our first time since 2015, furthering our push toward being environmentally responsible. In another area of neighborhood investment, code compliance completed 30,404 inspections, achieved voluntary compliance with 2,756 code cases, towed 273 abandoned and derelict vehicles, boarded up 39 unsecured structures, demolished 6 buildings found to be structurally unsound, and cut and cleaned 126 vacant properties. Beginning next year, our code compliance office will have a new software called RentalScape to help police short-term vacation rentals. We will not allow short-term vacation rentals to replace neighborhoods. And we're going to do a much better job of policing them. And they will not operate illegally in our city. So while the city's departments have been hard at work maintaining our beautiful city, we've also been focused on the housing crisis, one of the biggest challenges our city now faces. For 4 years, housing has been a primary challenge faced in this council's term. And this last year, we saw many of the initiatives we put in place early on realized, but we're not done yet. We recognize that there must be a balance between the quality of life for our residents and the tourism that helps drive our economy. and housing has a lot to do with it. In 2023, a total of 506 households have been assisted through the Savannah Affordable Housing Fund investments. That includes 101 owner-occupied houses repaired, 37 homes purchased by first-time homeowners, 31 homes under construction, and get this, 330 renters receiving security deposits and similar rental assistance. We're helping folk.
Yes.
And this year, a record $5.6 million, I'll say it again, $5.6 million has been raised for the Savannah Affordable Housing Fund.
Yeah.
Yes. Including an unprecedented historic $6 million pledge from our good friends at the Georgia Ports Authority that will deliver $750,000 a year for 8 years to help the West Side neighborhoods near the port stay in their homes and buy new homes in those communities.
That's great.
The Galvin Foundation saw what we were doing and they invested $1 million into a Kala Brownsville housing initiative. And the city added $3.5 million to the general budget of the Savannah Affordable Housing Fund, all representing a significant push to create affordable housing for all residents. Underway currently are several projects, including 10 more single-family houses in Savannah Gardens, 16 two-bedroom apartments at 916 MLK Jr. Boulevard, and 30 single-family homes on Dawes Avenue. Beyond affordable housing, we've taken extraordinary steps to house and help all of our roofless brothers and sisters. Yeah. In the last year, the city and its partners have invested over $9 million to develop 66 dwellings for persons and families experiencing homelessness. Yeah. This city, your city, donated 5.4 acres of land to the Chatham-Savannah Land Bank Authority to develop Dundee colleges and the code at Dundee. And just recently, we celebrated the completion of the infrastructure at the Dundee colleges site by the city. And so now vertical construction by minority local businesses are underway, and we're excited to see this project come to fruition, and we can provide housing first for those that are experiencing homelessness.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
And we established the Interagency Council on Homelessness with the Chatham-Savannah Authority for the Homeless acting as the lead agency. The city partnered with 6 homeless service agencies to fund 9 programs for $2.7 million to lend a hand up, not a handout, to homeless and circumstantially homeless in our city. And for this fiscal year, the city has invested $1.7 million in homeless services allocations shared with our day center partners and the Chatham-Savannah Authority for the Homeless, who lead the effort to reach functional zero.
Yes.
This year, 1,369 people experiencing homelessness received support from city's services through city contracts with day center providers. 1,111 persons at risk or experiencing homelessness were provided emergency shelter or short-term rent and utility assistance. Providing for all of our residents is essential, as is ensuring we maintain responsible development moving forward. Following advice from the Development Impact Fee Advisory Committee, this City Council adopted new development impact fee compliance requirements this year, helping to defray the cost of expanding capital facilities and to better serve growth and development. Since July the 1st, this city has issued invoices for impact fees exceeding $500,000, adding a significant revenue stream to city coffers. And over the last year, the city has experienced unprecedented construction activity, both renovations and new construction. Over the last year, the City Development Services Department has issued building permits with a total construction valuation of over $1 billion with a B dollars. As our city thrives, we will further invest in our amenities for our citizens. The city is currently underway with the public engagement portion to design the Wetlands Preserve Park in the Canal District. And this park will be an inclusive, educational, interpretive trail system with facilities for environmental education and wildlife viewing. We're also going to work very hard to make sure we have a canal plan and a plan for our civic center that includes inclusive, thoughtful, and deliberate engagement, because that's what you deserve. Also central to our game plan has been a focus on public safety. And we have seen our investments in the Savannah Police Department and the Savannah Fire Department pay off. Violent crime is down 3% from this time last year, and homicides are down in the previous 2 years. And overall, crime is down as well. And we recognize that this summer there's been a lot of gun violence in the city. A lot of this violence has been personal beefs that spilled onto streets and resolved with a firearm. And we mourn with those Savannahans who have lost family members. And our Savannah Police Department are making sure that bad guys are going to jail. Yes. To jail. To jail. And if you want to pull triggers in our community, then prison is where you're going to end up. The city invested in a new department, the Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement, or ONES, which is dedicated to reducing youth gun and other violence and increasing neighborhood safety through a collaborative, community-wide approach. A team of city departments and staff worked jointly this summer to implement the city's 100 Days of Summer, which offered everything, various summer engagement programs and events to keep our youth busy, safe, and tired. Overall, our summer attendance topped 7,000 young people this year. 7,000. 7,000. Over 800 youth were connected to ONE-sponsored services, and over 1,700 participated in various youth and community activities. The city also awarded 19 violence reduction and neighborhood improvement grants totaling $433,000. We've also strengthened our police force with better salaries, making us more competitive in the region. We added retention bonuses and referral bonuses, and we have a lateral entry program to fill out our police force. And today, the city manager and I joined Chief Gunther as we swore in new police officers, some that came to us and some we stole from other departments. And we're going to continue stealing from other departments too. And the city manager will be providing to the city council another great opportunity to make sure that our police and fire are the best paid in the region. They deserve it, and we're going to make sure that they have it. And I hope council will join me in approving it. This year, we hired over 50 new officers, with 24 coming through our new lateral entry program, reducing our vacancy rate from 149 to 118. And so, although there's still attrition due to multiple factors, which include retirements, we are clearly on the right path to getting our police department fully staffed. But the amazing work they've done with what they have. They've gotten out there and they've worked their butts off. And we are so appreciative. Our fire department has gotten out there and worked their butts off, and we're so appreciative. We've added new technology to SPD's arsenal, allowing them to more effectively and smartly police our great city, including 100 new vehicles. We've expanded training programs in critical incident decision-making training. Last year, I think we had 5 officer-involved shootings. This year, we've had 0. SPD was awarded close to $800,000 in additional grants this year, including an award from the governor's office for over 75 new cameras and technology infrastructure. And our great police officers also worked hard to engage with their community through a successful Savannah Night Out and PALS mentoring program. And yesterday, I went to the Central Precinct and went through that haunted house, and I was scared. Somebody almost got hurt jumping out of stuff on me. But that's the type of stuff we want to do. Because we want our young people to engage with our police. Because our police are daddies too. And their mommies too. And their grandparents too. And they just want to love on them, and they just want them to grow up to be the best they could be and live their best lives. That's right. This year, our behavioral health unit, which has been hugely successful, is expanded to 4 offices to help better navigate difficult situations with citizens experiencing mental health issues. And I'm hoping to expand it even more and make it 24 hours and make sure that we have these services here, because all mental health issues don't need a police response. Savannah Police awarded this year, added 3 new civilian positions: the Police Administration Director, a Director of Strategic Initiatives, and a Crime Analyst Manager, creating a more robust department able to handle the very diverse needs of our community. Now, beyond public safety, we've invested a lot in the well-being of our residents. Over 20,000 residents have received services from agencies awarded city grants through the Community Partnership Program. This year, we celebrated the completed renovation of Tribble Park, which provides residents in District 6 and people like me who want to go over there an excellent place for outdoor recreation. Throughout the city, we've improved recreation facilities and amenities and increased or improved programs and services to help improve the quality of life for all Savannahans. The Recreation Reimagined initiative put in new splash pads at Hudson Hill and Hull Park, and soon at the Crusader Community Center. The city resurfaced athletic courts at Blackshear, Tatumville, and Crawford Square, and we will soon replace the Forest Site, the Westside Parks, and Daffin Park tennis courts early next year. And the city is scheduled to install new playground units for Daffin Park, Bowles Ford Park, Summerside Park, and Brickyard Park. Our commitment to youth sport leagues and programs continue to see increased participation, with over 1,900 young NBA and baseball and all these stars this year, future stars. This city has also expanded our city leagues and added facilities. This cultural arts center has become a significant community resource. This year, this theater, the Ben Tucker Theater, hosted 12,263 participants, representing a 25% increase from last year. And over 1,600 participants have attended 142 arts classes and workshops, 39 Savannah Cultural Arts Center produced special events, and they've hosted 1,949 participants this year. And as evidenced by the room we're in tonight, which honors my friend and one of Savannah's most legendary musicians, Ben Tucker. Y'all know we love to name things in Savannah. And we really tried to find a way to reckon our city's history while honoring those who deserve to be recognized. The fact is, we didn't get here by ourselves. And too many people come and they serve and they give their best and they pass away, and future generations never really ever know that they existed. So through a new ordinance, we added honorary street designations to several streets in Savannah, recognizing those individuals who have contributed so much in our community. More importantly, we did it so that they can get their flowers while they can smell them. We now have Lieutenant John Alliston White Avenue over in the 3rd, the Rev. Raphael Warnock Way over in Caton Homes, the Virginia Edwards Manor Way in the 5th, the Ronald Booker Way, commemorating these great Savannahans. We also erected a historical marker honoring civil rights attorney and hometown hero Robert Robbie Robinson in Camp Hall, reminding everyone in this neighborhood of his impact and his tremendous sacrifice. Amen. And now, this council, this bold, courageous council, named the first square after a person of color and a woman. Following an intensive, deliberate, and thorough engagement with this community, a lot of hours of meetings and talking and conversation, this city council voted to do two things. First, to remove the name John C. Calhoun from the square because his name didn't deserve to be there.
That's right.
But now to call the Fort Square, formerly known as Calhoun Square, as Susie Taylor Square, honoring the school teacher, Susie King Taylor.
Yeah, you did that.
And we're looking forward to just in a few weeks naming the square. This was a special moment not only for our city, but for the folks in Liberty County where she's from, and the folks around the nation. And one of the most monumental things that this council did during our term. In line with that action, the council approved the purchase of the Evergreen Cemetery. And has since removed over 25 tons of debris. Last Sunday, I visited my grandparents' grave for the first time in 4 years because I couldn't get to it. And so many people now can go and visit their dear departed first time in years. And we will host a small event in December to honor those that are resting from their labor and those that are mourning. And we're going to make sure that this historic cemetery will be kept as pristine as our other cemeteries. And along with cleaning and maintaining our beautiful city over the last year, this council has emphasized transportation safety. The Vision Zero program, developed last year, launched this year with a goal of 0 traffic fatalities and severe injuries. We engaged with you, our citizens. We gathered input from several sessions and workshops, and now this city, your city, will rise to the challenge of making our roadways safe for everyone based on what residents have recommended. And over the last year, our brilliant traffic engineering team installed an additional 4.1 miles of sidewalks, placed 32 lane miles of asphalt, maintained 14 miles of graded lanes and shoulders, repaired 5,399 traffic signs and 486 traffic signals.
Yes.
Along with responsibly maintaining our roadways, we have made the long-term sustainability and transforming to clean energy our top priority. The Office of Sustainability has done some incredible work this year. And so far, 10 city-owned buildings have solar panels installed, creating jobs for a local workforce and moving this city toward its goal of 100% renewable energy. This city, your city, is partnered with Georgia Bright to provide a solar panel leasing program for low and moderate income households earning under $100,000 a year. And so this incredible program will help give monthly utility bill relief to those who need it. The Office of Sustainability has also held over 20 energy efficiency workshops over the last 7 months. It helped more than 120 residents receive free energy improvements that will save an average of 10 to 20% on their energy bills. The city has partnered with Georgia Power to help reduce bills for our residents and is shepherding our transition to clean energy in alignment with our 100% Savannah plan. The city has also began to phase out single-use plastics with a partnership with Staples. That was easy. We also received a $1 million EPA Brownfield Revolving Fund grant that will work to help us clean up polluted sites and invest in inputs. All of these things are evidence of a city that is thriving, that's facing the challenges both present and coming in the future with a common sense government approach aimed at equality, equity, and balance. In closing, I reiterate that our city is more vital now than ever because you, the citizens, participate. You fill out questionnaires, you show up at workshops, you send us emails, you shout us out on Facebook and social media, you call us out, and we respond. The state of our city is thriving for many. It's thriving for more than it was before, but it's not thriving for all. And we will not stop until we're thriving for all. We will continue to add people to the equation. We will continue to create seats at the table. We will continue to make the dream and promise of Georgia's first city accessible and available for everyone. And I know we can do it. We've already done so much. It's only by working together that we move the city together. It's been a hard 4 years. It's been a challenging 4 years. And the reality is, beloved, that we didn't come to be saviors. We came to be servants.
That's right.
We're not perfect, but I will tell you we've tried the best we could. And given all that this council has faced, all that this city has faced, we have come out stronger than we've ever been before. And we know now what Savannah Strong is all about. We know that it's about the word and not the word or. We know it's about bringing people along. We know it's about looking in every place of our city. It's about creating seats at the table. It's about fussing and being respectful in our fussing. Because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, we're still neighbors. We're still parishioners. We still see each other at Walmart, at the Stevie Nicks concert, and other places. And at the end of the day, we will always be Savannah. May there be peace on earth. May there be peace in Savannah. And may it begin with me. Thank you so much for caring about us, for challenging us over the last 4 years of the 139th administration of the City of Savannah. Thank you for being a partner at this place in time in history, which I predict will be transformative in the annals of this 290-year-old city. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for working hard to make this city a better place. Thank you for coming tonight, and thank you for tuning in at home. Thank you for being Savannah Strong. May God bless you, and may God bless the City of Savannah.
Yeah, very good. Woo-hoo.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. How am I running with time? Okay.